Like the reason I want this person to win, like I just want competitive games and I want a close series. So those videos were my honest opinions on just these teams and who I thought would be the pieces that were really gonna push these teams over the edge and through to the finals and possibly a win.
For sure. Well, I'm gonna try something new this time. I'm gonna start the prediction right now. I'll give people 10 minutes. Anybody that doesn't know, this is one of these videos. This is actually the Dino Nuggies ULS team breakdown. Go ahead, check that link out if you're not subscribed. Click that. That's super cool. I was just browsing through kind of some of the other stuff you got on there too right now that pertains to the ULS. It's really a nice little content library of things to talk about when it comes to the squads represented and all their breakdowns and things like that. So thank you for sharing. Go ahead with the draft. My bad.
No, absolutely no problem. Fun to talk about that. And just before we get more into this draft, as we do have the 3 minutes, so we'll really be able to break this down. Don't worry, guys. But I will be uploading the games that have been played onto that same page, my YouTube page as well. So I'm trying to just make that really the hub for all of our ULS stuff. And so now, just getting back into this draft, it looks like from the side of Dino Nuggies, they will ban away the Udyr, makes sense, the Heimer, and the Fizz. The Heimer ban stands out to me. I haven't been tracking anyone on double Umacorns op.gg's this week, but maybe a spike in priority for the Heimer. I could definitely see Artie playing some more of picks like this. And
I think it's probably people watching too much T1. I mean, if you watch him for long enough, you know how to play Heimer. It's not that hard, you know?
well, I'm
But
looking at the chat right now, and it looks like AJD calling Yokimoto out on it. Played some games with him last night, so able to take some cookies from the cookie jar before Artie realized must not have checked the schedule to see who they were going up against. As the Misfortune will be the first lock-in. Space Jabberwocky, really his main. Most of his solo queue games have been played on this champion, so some comfortability as well as a great pick. I'm actually surprised we haven't been seeing it in the meta when picks like the Jinx and the Zaya, the Kaisa have been so dominant. I do believe MF is still an amazing ADC, an amazing team fighter. And on the side of double Umacorns, grab a great bot lane for themselves. The Leona Jinx picked up right away. It's going to be a really strong bot lane, but answered by the Thresh Echo. Now, this is interesting because this Echo could be going mid. It could be going jungle. I would put money on jungle. I think it falls more into the lane of the picks that we've seen Mocha Mexican bring out. We have seen him on the Diana so far, and really liking these AP jungles. So I definitely think this could be our AP Echo in the jungle, and it will be the Anivia to match. So maybe a more slow, controlled style out from double Umacorns this game, as they will lock in the Anivia.
yeah, I think I'm excited to see kind of this next rotation from both. A, to pinpoint where this Echo's going to go, but B, my man Frost Unbreakable hasn't picked yet, and there's a couple of bands that I haven't seen come across just yet. So
Yeah,
we'll
really,
see.
really off. Usually when the sedge gets through, I feel like this is something they just insta lock. So
Yeah,
that not there is a little bit of head scratcher to me. And there it is, the sedge pick comes through. You have to think it was just a blunder to let that get through the first phase. So dapping the brow a little bit as the side of Dino Nuggies able to take that champ out of Frost's hands.
yeah, for sure. I thought that one is like a surefire. I'm not playing against that shit. This guy, not today. Not on the ULS.
Rounding out the bands to
Eh,
the side of the Devil Umacorns will be that Morgana Darius. Interesting enough, I feel like the Darius did eat the world's most insignificant nerf after running top lane for the last, I believe it's been 6 years. Um,
or longer.
or longer. The last ban coming in will be the Mundo. So trying to dip into Frost pool, the champ pool here, but there's definitely some great jungles still available. I would not be surprised to see the double Umacorns grab their top lane here and save this jungle pick for a counter. We've seen Frost pull out all types of just amazing picks, things that neither of us would expect, in that coming out of the draft select we've had questions about, as a Volibear does get locked in, and this is a flex pick. This can go top or jungle. This is a really big brain first rotation because you give nothing to the side of Dino Nuggies for who your solo lane and who your jungler is.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely a good pick. I would venture to guess. Okay. We
Oh
have
man.
Zed shown. I would venture to guess that's Frost Unbreakable there on the volley, but we'll see here
And Vinny
momentarily.
locking in the Zed says, "Give me the skill matchup. I don't care what you're playing. I'll figure it out." Anivia passive does make it a little
That's
tough.
right.
And as I do see a lot of top laners being hovered, I want to lean towards this Volibear going into the jungle. So it looks like Frost will be piloting that Volibear and already looking for something to lock in. And do my eyes deceive me? If Sin was here, he would be bussing in this champ select as we finally have a Malphite coming through in the ULS.
Yeah, Sin is all about ease of execution, picks that just work well regardless of game time, mid, early, late, whatever. And Malphite is definitely that.
Oh man, and now that it's finally come to light, I can reveal a change that did occur. Mythos was swapped down to the support role. It will now be World War II Penguin playing in the top lane, and one of the big question marks for me in this move is, what does this make the bot lane look like? Obese Penguin has been a rock even in their losses last week. Still looked very strong, still stable. It wasn't until they're sending 3 4-man dives in the bot lane that we saw this lane fall apart. So now you move him down with Mythos, and while the move might have been, Mythos was, hey, he has a bigger champ pool at the support role. We can play more people through the top lane. Let's make this move happen. But the problem is, you now have to rebuild this synergy. And aside from just the synergy with your ADC, your synergy with the jungle is just as important. One of the
Yep.
big power points we saw out of this team was World War II Penguin and Frost Unbreakable moving in tandem to just give the enemy jungler hell and roam to mid lane, roam to top lane, make these plays. And I think that's going to be something to track, is how does Mythos respond in some of these situations, and is he able to have some synergy, because he's going to need it against this team.
Yeah, I think what they're doing actually is twofold. So that's happening, right? I think they're willing to sacrifice that synergy with the Penguins for what's going to now be a more top side heavy, strong side, top side type of situation. The AW2 Penguin and Frost Unbreakable share a very similar outlook on, I mean, this entire team really, but they share an outlook on the game and how to win it and how to force objectives, how to force your hand when you're winning, right? How to take advantage of these gaps. So I think what we're going to see is a little bit of a migration. We should see a lot of action on that top side, is what my guess would be, to try to keep the sign out of the game, to really control that side of the map, get a lot of gold onto the Malphite early, and just really be able to run away with this thing. With these two high speed, heavy engaged characters, Volibear and Malphite working really well together.
Yeah, and I think that this is honestly going to be kind of a tough draft to pull off for the side of Dino Nuggies. Drafting 2 assassins, the AP assassin, the AD assassin. You have a really good team fight with, I believe, your bot lane and your top lane. But these fights are going to come down to how those two, the Echo and the Zed, are able to navigate through navigate through this team, because when everyone wants to go in, the only way you get picks out is Uncle Tizzy even brings it up. Loves Vinny, but the Zed is just, it's a little bit of a head scratcher, because it's going to be very difficult for him to play through these games. It's going to be difficult for him to find his engages. You look on the side of the double Umacorns, and the only person that they can reliably go on is the Jinx. The Jinx is the only person that should be someone that they can blow up, but you're diving into a Volibear, into a Leona, into a Malphite, and even the Anivia. This is going to be such a hard team, and with only one actual person that's, diveable for this Zed, for this Echo, I think being able to get out to an early game lead and just being able to show really good micro on these champs, and you're in this game, they need to show mastery on these champs for this to matter. The side of double Umacorns is just so much easier to execute.
Yeah, no doubt. They have the easier 5v5 as well. I think the way to path to victory for Dino Nuggies here is to try to get ahead early and then just play this like 4v1, like get the skirmishes happening around the map. Hey, we can beat you guys in 3v3, but once you have all five members from Umacorns present at a team fight situation, I don't understand how it works on the side of Dino Nuggies either. So we'll see. I think early game is going to be a heavy point of emphasis. Really, as the volley bear 1 to 3 um, really comes online first at level 3, right? So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe there's some early action to kind of snowball something or get either team off to an early lead. I think that's going to weigh very heavily, and it is almost a requirement for the side of Dino Nuggies as I look at this draft.
Yeah, absolutely. And, shout out to my boy Cole. I know he loves seeing him in Echo Jungle. So
Let's go. Only real ones play Echo Jungle. I want to hear a funny story about why I play Echo Jungle? Big Z,
I'd love to.
The only reason I played Echo Jungle is because at the time he was like the only black character in the fucking game. And I was like, you know what, man? This is my main. I'm going to learn how to play this. It's the only reason why.
Oh man, hey, I feel that, man. Getting Lucian, we're getting that great representation in the game now. They're dropping Echo. We got Samira, we got Senna, we got Lucian. You guys gotta watch out, man. I'll throw Rel into that category too, man. Shoot, you look old light skinned. Yeah.
Rel works as well. But yeah, I guess it was at the time it was Echo and Lucian, right?
Right.
I'm not an ADC guy. I can't. That's too much. It takes actual skill. I'm not. Oh, cool,
Yeah,
man. Let me do the jungle. Let me get my nigga Echo in the jungle. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh, and just some early game banter going on in this chat already. Things you love to see. Talking about Mythos moving to the support role, potentially needing a remake for, perhaps the side of Double Umacorn just doesn't understand.
Nice.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
These teams go way back. That's really cool. You love to see it.
Yeah, just immediately in the chat, no games being played. It looks like it will be Frost Unbreakable starting on this red side without a leash. Mocha Mexican will have the leash. That means that he will be clearing that a lot faster than the Volibear will. Volibear has a decently fast clear, but I think we'll really see the time made up when he hits that Raptors camp.
Yeah, it's interesting. Both junglers starting away from the bot side, leaving the duo lane to its own devices. Something you don't see very often. As we did see Mocha Mexican hit the Gromp much sooner than Frost Unbreakable reaches his Krugs. But both junglers starting top side. Not sure what that means for this first scuttle rotation. They may both meet on the bottom side, as I think Volibear or Frost Unbreakable will look to clear down that away.
Yeah, he will be a little late to that as well. Just finished clearing his Krugs. About half a camp tempo away from this Echo here. Yeah, you got to expect that he will be able to clear this Raptor camp pretty fast. This is where he might get some of the time back that he lost. Echo looks like he's going to start the Raptor camp. So, yeah, I think this is where we will see a chance for the Volibear to kind of regain some tempo here. But definitely the Echo will have the priority here in making a play towards the bot lane. It's a nice trade comes through from Artie, but Vinarvel able to actually trade that right back. Actually, even CS in the mid lane right now pretty well for the Zed, who struggles in this range matchup for farming. But doing well for himself so far.
Yeah, for sure. We see Echo here completing the red buff as Frost starting the blue. The pacing, interesting. Both junglers bot side is now Mocha Mexican alerts everyone on the map to exactly where he is.
Yeah, and able to scope him out with bot prio means that this bottom scuttle will just be taken for free from the Echo, but Mocha Mexican actually moving up to try to make a play onto I am Artie. Has a flash, burns it a little late, but you can't TP to an eggshell. Nobody in the area, and that's just first blood for Vinarvel onto Artie in the mid lane.
Interesting. Usually Umacorns does not give that away. That being first blood, that being first move. But in this matchup with the leashless from Frost, you see the Echo just has all the priority
Yeah.
to do what he needs to do. Securing the first blood for Vinnervelt. Nice blood.
This could be tough because the Echo should be able to move up right here. Push in on the top side. Priority in the mid side. He's just going to double scuttle Frost here. Nice early lead as Frost was able to stay up and farm. And actually moving to contest here. Vinnervelt does have the flash. Does have the W. Flash follow coming out of Frost. But Vinnervelt still having that flash after using the W means that he will be able to get out to safety.
Yeah, this is something you never get as an Echo, both crabs. If this happens, that's usually really good for the next, immediacy of the game. It's a lot of gold, a lot of experience, helps Echo reach the 6 power spike a lot sooner than normal. Usually you're happy on the Echo jungle to take one of these first crab rotations.
We're going to see a potential 2v2 in the top side is Mocha Mexican actually looking to go farm his Krugs. Yokimoto caught out on the wrong side of the river, and that is a return kill picked up for the side of the double Umacorns. Yokimoto trying to get as much damage as he can, but Frost will just shake it off, go back to farming, and great return kill from the side of double Umacorns, keeping the game close.
For sure. I thought somebody mentioned some attention towards the top side as we were in the draft. I'm not sure, but
yes,
you see that.
A real mystery as to who could have possibly mentioned that. Yo, Mr. Chris, thank you so much for that fat raid, my guy. I hope your stream went well. My apologies, everyone coming in. We do now have notifications turned on just for the integrity of the game and so that there's not a bunch of stuff on the screen. But welcome in. Appreciate all you guys stopping by. I hope the stream went well. You guys just missed an absolute banger of a game one between two of our teams paddling for first place. We do see Mythos hooked up here and some nice training going down here from Space Jabberwocky. But Mythos is able to just pop the W on the Leona, walk that one out. Man's tankier than anything you've ever seen so early.
Definitely. We got a slower start to this one. Just 1-1 as we're 6 minutes in. No moves being made yet on this Cloud Drake. Good news about that spawning first is we will not have that as our soul here in this game. So one of our 3 believed to be more powerful Drakes will come into play here in 3rd position and make up the soul for this game. As we see Mocha Mexican looking down towards that Drake.
Yeah, it should be
anybody's
spotted out, but I mean, on top of this ward, they don't even see him. Walks right over the ward. He's able to get the 2-man stun. That's got to be an easy play. Right into the hook. The chompers go down. There's a flash coming out of Obese Penguin. Blows the heal. Does not use the hook onto the thresh, but a great TB coming in from Warlord 2. And I am already a great knockup coming in from the Malphite ulti as they're able to get the return kill onto the Space Jabberwocky. Yokimoto coming down too. Will charge up the cube, but nobody walks into that. Burst just trying to run for this hills. Frost Unbreakable has to have his Q stun up. He is going to be pulled into the tower range, but the zap does land, and that is another kill going down. Frost Unbreakable does drop on the backside of the tower, but Vinnervelt is here. Goes right on the obese Penguin, and with the ultimate will drop him down. Mythos going right back in onto Vinnervelt and able to lock him up, but Vinnervelt able to get back out with the second cast. Yokimoto, a beautiful knockup onto both teams, as we will see World War II Penguin ignited, and you got to believe he's going down. There's another kill going over to the Zed. 3-0 on the Zed. Mocha Mexican cleaning up already on the back end of that fight, and this Zed that we were questioning so much, excuse me, as he just W's in, able to pick up another kill. Now 4-0 on this Zed pick. We asked how it worked, and it's easy. You just roll over the enemy team in the beginning of the game, and you just make this game impossible to play for anyone on the side of double Umacorns.
Yeah, we actually talked about that as well, and to date, or to the minute, up to 8 minutes in this game, it looks like Vinnervelt is really pulling off what had to be done.
Yeah, and I mean, gosh, we asked for these guys to come out and show this mastery on these champions, and really just an over-aggressive play from the side of double Umacorns. They did bring the 2 TPs. They were able to get out with, they were able to get out with just such a really good play there, able to pick up a kill on the Space Jabberwocky, shutting down that marksman. But then to dive the tower, dive the thresh, not tracking Vinnervelt as he's moving down, not tracking that Mocha Mexican should be here soon. Just these little things that kind of got away from them, and ultimately resulting in a massive team fight that now has Vinnervelt more than enough in the lead.
Yeah, it ended up being a 4 for 2 on the backside of that, with one other falling eventually, leading us to a 6-3 score, about 1,000 gold lead over to the side of Dino Nuggies. But we'll see what they can do as we now see Umacorns take and secure Shelly. Try to get some of that gold back here. Wouldn't be surprised if that just goes mid lane to try to throw some gold towards Artie, as he's going to need it, with Vinnerville being a solid margin ahead. 4-0-0, also about 14 CS at the moment.
Yeah, no, a great point brought up from Uncle Tizzy in the chat, saying that just as this game goes on, definitely the side that scales harder will be the side of double Umacorn. So they might look to slow things down this game. Let's see if the Dino Nuggies will be able to press the issue here and try to get this lead going even more. And yeah, comment Malphite, a little bit of a question mark, not going for as much of a tanky side as you would like to see, but you know these items coming out are going to be this guy just being an absolute frontline. Cruiseman in the chat, this is the ULS, this is a tournament we put on. We have 4 teams competing, and Cole and I both shoutcast the games is what is going on. We get back into the game. Yokimoto just doing really well for himself. I mean, you know that this lane, there wasn't going to be that much kill pressure out of either of these guys. Just going to be farming us. Yokimoto must have heard me talking mess, because he goes in and says, look at the damage I could do. Look at it. As both of them just will heal back up, and it's almost non-existent. Mocha Mexican hovering. They are looking for a dive. World War II Penguin does have the ultimate here, able to get the knockup, and Yokimoto might just go down. A great 2-for-1 pickup on the dive, or 1-for-1 pickup there coming out for the double Umacorns, as that was looking pretty tough. Played that really well, able to get the knockup off just as Echo lands the stun onto him. Is unstoppable, so doesn't even get CC'd. Really well played from the side of double Umacorns, able to turn that 2v1 dive into a 1-for-1.
Yeah, not bad. And gonna be some follow-up here. Jungler scrapping.
Mocha Mexican has to ult away. No ulti now, but that is ulti for ulti traded. That will be Frost Unbreakable stun. Will he be able to get out? Does not have the flash. Use it for the engage. Volibear's just ever so slow. Able to just E over the wall there, get away. No, there won't be a trade kill to be found there. But Frost Unbreakable actually doing fairly well for himself. Still about a camp up on Mocha Mexican, but I mean, this is a jungle matchup we were asking for, Cole. We knew that both of these guys would be bringing it, and just really good to see both of them showing up today.
For sure. Mocha Mexican, the fancy footwork to get out, as we see Frost Unbreakable here.
Oh, dang, a great engage going on to Vinarvel there. He does have to expend the flash, as I am already will have to back off. No TP available means that he will just have to walk back to lane. But with the wave crashing, it should be frozen in the mid side, and should be able to have that walk back, no problems had. Frost Unbreakable looks like he's picking up a Scuttle Crab, possibly clearing up some vision too, preparing for this next dragon.
Yeah, Obese Penguin shot the Super Mega Death Rocket. I forget exactly what it's called, but went just wide there towards the Vinnerville during that channel to get back to the Nexus. We'll get one charge out of Shelly on the mid turret as expected.
And that's the most Frost Unbreakable play that I've seen. You know, you still have a minute on these tower plates, but why share it with a teammate when my pockets get heavier?
Yeah, I was going to call that out. He did that at a time where both mid laners were kind of off and away resetting.
Yokimoto actually caught out here. Still has the flash if he wants to try to get away. Frost Unbreakable doing a very good job here to stand in front of Yokimoto, so he's not able to just ulti out and actually able to just walk it out. And I mean, this is exactly what we were talking about between these two laners. They're just gonna get so tanky. This lane is going to be hard to play through. And so yes, the switch up means that we have been seeing Frost more on the top side, but definitely given the matchup, interesting enough is we will see Vinarvel going in. I am already flashes right away, able to get a trade back, and actually goes fairly even. Ult expended for Vinarvel, so won't be able to get on top of the Anivia. But even with that 4-0 lead, we're seeing the struggles that Zed has had in laning into this champion.
Yeah, as time goes on, like Uncle Tizzy was saying in the chat, it's just gonna get harder and harder for the side of Dino Nuggies to be effective. So we'll see what kind of fireworks we can find here at this second drink. Will be the ocean, as it looks like Umacorns will just secure it, barring any last-minute attempts from our Venerville on the Zed. Looks like we got nothing.
Yeah, no tomfoolery to be had here as the Dragon lead is now tied up 1-for-1 in everyone's favorite noodle fight. As, these two big boys just kind of smack each other and hope to get the other one to at least 70% so they can walk back to farming feeling good about themselves.
Yeah, this is just kind of like a micro version of last game, right? Like a boxing match. Just a lot of heavy hits.
Exactly. Yokimoto
Back and
moving in.
forth.
Trying to get that hit off on the tower. Forgets his Balmy Cinders passive. We'll just start burning. World War II Penguin under towers. Frost Unbreakable does go in. Gets a nice little bit of trading off. But with the rest of the team here, nothing really to fight around here for. He will just run back up into his jungle.
This is an interesting game. I think it's very much like you see the respect from both sides, right? There's not a whole lot of turrets being challenged just yet, as we already approach 16 minutes. 1-for-1 on Drace. There's no real lead. The goal lead is 2.5k for the side of Dino Nuggies, but the game feels very dead even. Lots of respect from both sides. Laners and junglers just content to farm for the time being, kind of trade objectives exactly evenly to this point, and work towards those item spikes that I'm assuming the players are most anxious to complete.
Yeah, and just taking a look at some of the gold here, all of the gold difference is really on this mid lane. About a 1,300 gold difference on the Zed. You got to believe that a lot of that's just attributed to those 4 kills, as the farm is relatively even. 9 CS, so about a wave and a half up on this Anivia, as the side of Dino Nuggies will try to move on to this Rift Herald. Anivia isn't able to pick it up on the backside. The Mega Death Rocket come through. Mocha Mexican trying to get out of this, uses the E and has to ult back in, and the Malphite ulti was saved, and a big shutdown coming through. Bonus 150 gold, that's 450 for that kill, and Yokimoto trying to walk this out, needs the angle so he can choo-choo right out of here. Might have to go in, and Frost Unbreakable diving the tower, turns it off, able to pick up the kill. And a great 2-for-0. They lose the Rift Herald, but they are able to turn it around and get those. And you have to believe that that will be quite a bit of damage on this top side, as Artie does have to roam down and pick up this wave. But that 1,300 gold lead we were talking about for Zed already off of that roam just from Artie since we last brought it up, brought down to 900. This gold lead is getting chipped into, and this game just gets scarier and scarier for the side of Dino Nuggies.
A big shutdown there for Mocha, given away off of Mocha Mexican. The one number I still see hovering around there is Venerville with 400 on his head, 4-0, and that lead that once was, as more seconds tick away, it's just not there. So if the Umacorns can pick up that shutdown before it falls off, potentially, I think that's a lot of gold in their pocket. Gonna mean mountains.
Oh, and a great ulti coming out of the Leona. Can knock up Spade Jabberwocky. Good reflexes to be able to flash out of that one.
Just wide on the hook from Burst. Could have spelled trouble, though, if you land that. Maybe potential re-engage here for Mythos and Obese Penguin.
Yeah, and while we actually have a lull, we could talk about Burst filling in for UBU, our resident Yumi main. Loves talking in the Discord about how he's going to absolutely smurf on it. And, I guess everyone's believing him because he hasn't even had a chance to play it in the ULS so far. It just gets banned out all the time.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see if we get 1 or 2 games of that. I'm sure eventually there will be a lapse in concentration that'll fall into his hands, first or second pick, something like that.
Yeah, personally, not a fan of it, but when you have as many games as UBU has on the Yumi, you definitely have to give respect to just the mastery that he has.
Can't stand the champion. Why would you play a 5v5 game 4v5? Doesn't make sense. I just don't like it from like a theory craft type of aspect. But again, to your point, with enough mastery points, everything can be sexy, right?
Exactly. And so we got 4 champions sitting in the mid lane right now, trying to make a play on Artie before this dragon comes up. But all the while, Obese Penguin just able to farm on this bot side and just pick up as much gold as he can. This is actually pretty big for them. This Jinx not able to pick up a kill yet, but sitting 0-1-3. And catching up in that CS, as we'll have to give a little respect as the enemy team is missing in the mid lane.
Here we'll see both teams in a position here to make a play on this third and Mountain Drake, what will be our soul here. Thought to be one of the most, if not the most powerful. We see both top laners getting back to the Nexus, but with their teleports available, I would surmise there will be some action going on here momentarily.
Oh yes, we already see the TP come through from Artie to get with the fight. It looks like Yokimoto TPing into the river here. World War II Penguin will match that TP. Doesn't want to risk it as they look to try to catch him out here. They got to be careful as Burst caught on the wrong side, but pulled back into a great ulti by Space Jabberwocky, but knocked up by the Malphite means he doesn't get to do anything. That's a shutdown coming down. While Vin Arvel does exactly what he drafted his head to do and go in and blow up the Jinx, but Frost Unbreakable able to shut him down. That is 700 gold coming over and a great wall coming out from Artie, but they have to be careful here. This Scion might be able to get kills. Those are a lot of low health bars, actually able to just outlast it. Mocha Mexican hanging out over the pit. You have to be careful. Does not have the ultimate, so it would be a one-way trip in unless he blast cones in. He does not blast cone in. Uses the E, but able to get the double stone out. That is a pickup on the Mythos. Mythos just falls, but I am already able to pick that up to secure the ace, and that is the first Mountain Dragon going over to the double Umacorns.
Yeah, I think in that fight, what stands out to me is Frost Unbreakable just being, he just had so much agency in that fight. I mean, the guy was just frontlining the entire time and stunning people and just causing damage and just wrecking havoc. For the side of Dino Nuggies, unfortunately on the Echo, until you get that stopwatch, until you get that Zonias, you don't have that type of agency, and ultimately that cost Dino Nuggies, I think, that dragon in that fight.
Yeah.
We see the gold lead now belongs actually to Umacorns as well, about 900 there.
Yeah, very impressive. And I mean, we're just getting to this point, as Tizzy says. This is where your assassins fall off. And I mean, really big ups of Vin Arvel, able to get in that fight, was able to blow up that Jinx. That fight could have been a lot worse for them, especially if that Jinx was able to run around and pick up these kills that Frost Unbreakable ended up grabbing. And it's like, yeah, Frost Unbreakable is still massive on this, as he was trying to hold the blue buff, but you could tell he didn't want to, as he just let that Cinder kind of tick away, and hey, sorry man, I was holding it. I don't know how it died to me. He picks up the blue buff on the backside of that. But I mean, this game is gonna get scary. This Jinx yet to complete her Runaan's Hurricane. That fight is a lot harder when Jinx can just use her rockets and just AoE all over your team. You know, that's just free auto attacks at that longer range. It'll be harder for the Zed to get back in, but very, very tough for him. And another point I agree with from Uncle Tizzy is that Last Whisper will be a very, very good item, especially if the side of double Umacorns is able to stack Dragon.
Yeah, definitely.
Flash coming through. Excuse me, Cole. This Frost Unbreakable goes right in. They try to stop the Lantern. Tick, tick, tick. Boom. He goes down to I am already on the backside. World War II Penguin tries to go in with the ultimate, but a great ulti for out of Mocha Mexican will stop that. A full charge is interrupted out of Yokimoto, and he just has to flash over the Anivia wall as Anivia picks him up with the E on the backside. Yokimoto just barely missing out on getting out of that one, trying to do what he can. And Vin Arvel is in the bot side with this bottom lane. This is not how you want it. On the side of double Umacorns, they can just call for the Jinx ultimate. And with this Leona standing next to the Jinx, Vin Arvel is never going to be able to do anything. In fights like that, he needs to be with the team. He's not going to get anything done trying to threaten around the Jinx. Frost Unbreakable is looking for more. Burst might be safe here. Looks for the hook. Goes a little wide. Frost Unbreakable, and I mean, this is already such a big difference that we saw out of double Umacorns from last week to this week. Just the aggression that Frost brings onto the ring.
Yeah, for sure. This guy somehow always ends up leading the team in kills, KP, and gold, and a bunch of other statistics. I mean, just a hell of a player, man. And you know, when you got your emotional.
Oh man.
And stat leader on your team is going to make a huge difference.
Vinarvel might be caught out, but it's actually already caught on the wrong side. And that is a 700 gold shutdown. Going back in, he was so close into cutting into this lead that he had, or to the lead that Vinarvel had made. But able to extend it again out to 1,000, just, you know, not lined up, wasn't able to push that into the bot side as they will go in onto Vinarvel here. Vinarvel jumps right onto Obese Penguin. Obese Penguin flashes immediately. Vinarvel's got nowhere to go, and that's a shutdown picked up by the Jinx. Jinx, but here she comes, raining down the rockets. The Mega Death Rocket unfortunately goes wide as the Misfortune Bullet Time goes over the top of the team, but not able to find the pick. She tries to Gale Force in to pick something up on the backside, but Obese Penguin will pick up another kill, and this Jinx is online.
Yeah, we're going back and forth a bit here, but kill lead now belongs comfortably to Umacorns at 16-10 as they look to threaten this bot turret. One thing we haven't seen a whole lot of is macro moves being made by either team, as only 2 turrets down. 2-2 is now the call as we reach 25 minutes. We have our 4th Drake spawning in here momentarily. We'll see, Big Z, if Dino Nuggies can turn this around. These team fights are looking a little bit more and more in the favor of double Umacorns as we continue on.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just going to be tough as they will actually have to face check into their team. Burst taking about 70, down to almost 50%. Looks like he has about 60% health there. Just trying to clear, already getting pretty big on this Anivia and just looking absolutely massive. Imagine, you know, if that Leona's locking someone down, that Volibear's locking someone down, this Anivia is just going to do so much. It actually walls them off. Just a menace on this pick is Artie, as it looks like they will try to catch out Mythos here. He's burning down. The W will keep him alive there. We'll have to flash away from the side of the wall, trying to clear that. We'll see how important it is. And what an amazing wall out of Artie, completely displays, and the knockup coming through from the Malphite ulti. Mocha Mexican does have to use his ultimate to try to disengage. Obese Penguin already fired off the Death Rocket. That's Vinarvel being picked up on the backside, not able to take anyone down, but that will be Frost Unbreakable going down. But this fight looks like it's going all Umacorns as they pick up 4 kills, excuse me. Space Jabberwocky being chased down. Obese Penguin will need to land the zap with a great sidestep out of Space Jabberwocky. Doesn't mean that he will be able to get out of there, but that is a 2nd Mountain Dragon being picked up. This will put them on soul point, putting them at a 31.5 minute soul, almost 32 minutes here. And this Malphite is just going to be unkillable. This Volibear will be unkillable. This Leona won't even need to flash the next time she's caught out like that. Mountain Soul for this team is deadly as they are pathing towards Baron. It looks like my apologies. It will just be the Malphite pathing top to pick up that wave. You'd have to imagine stops for the Scuttle Crab, but this game's looking all Umacorns, like I said earlier, Cole.
There was a window where, you know, Dino Nuggies really had control. You know, they were able to secure that first Drake and do some great things there with a couple players with shutdowns. You know, things were looking really good. But as Tizzy said, as you're saying, just moving on, it's getting really challenging for the Dino Nuggies to move around and try to execute on their composition.
Burst, it gets a lot harder if you're getting caught out here. This Echo Sun will come through, but the great ultimate coming out of Frost Unbreakable means he's unstoppable. He doesn't get stunned up. Mocha Mexican, everybody got on top of the Leona. Yeah. Sunflare, and now they cannot move. Yokimoto trying to charge him a shot, trying to make anything happen. Anything, let me run. The choo-choo train as this Barbarian will run out to safety, but this has to be Baron for the side of double Umacorns.
Yeah, barring some sort of theatrics here from Vinarvel and Space Jabberwocky, the double Umacorns are going to secure this Baron, no problem. Looks like we won't see any fireworks as the members are now retreating to their side.
Yeah, Artie just a little too far. Has to flash into the Raptor pit. Zed cannot follow. It looks like he used his flash, but actually did not make it over the wall. So unfortunate. You know, it happens to the best of us. These walls, I'm telling you, they get thicker depending on the game you're playing. It's Mountain Soul, so I'm pretty sure they increase the wall sizes just that extra hair, so your flash distances change up on you a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things you hate to see. That's the worst when you make a play like that and you just like miss flash. I call it ugly flashing. Bro, I get more. That's probably my biggest fear is ugly flashing on stream. I hate it, but it is what it is. It does happen to the best of us.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, Z. What do you think? Is there a window where the Dino Nuggies can make a play here, get this ace, and bring this back? I mean, where would you see that happening?
Well, I think it starts off with a Scion engage as he actually, I don't know if that was a misclick or not, did just use ultimate. It might have just been used to get back to top lane, and I just misseen that. But I think it starts off with not getting picked off by Frost. This game has just been, you know, much like our last game, we haven't gotten that 5v5. And yes, I do give the 5v5 to double Umacorns, and while we have had 5v5s, but over the course of this game, these have been picks over and over again that are skewing these 5v5s in favor, because usually when the 5v5 starts off, there's someone that is chunked down. There's somebody that is already bloodied or having to expend a big summoner before we get to these big team fights. So we need to see the side of Dino Nuggies try to either find a pick of their own or just absolutely send it, be able to pick off this obese penguin, be able to pick off, as we see Frost Unbreakable just diving right in. Space Jabberwocky hit by the Mega Death Rocket, the stun, or the smite coming down as the turret will fall. Frost Unbreakable just zoning them off. Yokimoto not even here. He does have the ulti up, and you have to wonder if they are going to pull the trigger here, as double Umacorns playing this a little slow down, a little more macro control out of them, trying to get these towers down. Only 4 towers down. You got to believe with this Baron buff, they will just blow this game open. But, I mean, this game, it's just getting harder and harder for the side of Dino Nuggies to capitalize on. I think Yokimoto needs to get creative with the flank here. I think when Frost Unbreakable is just going forward, as, you know, here we go, another pick. Yokimoto should be able to walk this one out. Alexa just go all in, as he does have Mocha Mexican in the area. Mocha Mexican will try to get on top of Frost Unbreakable. World War II Penguin hovering over the other side of this river. My catch, I am already out here, actually does in the bot lane with nobody else, able to pick this team up, and here comes the picks that we are looking for. 2-man stun comes through, but it is just a disengage, and with health bars at lows, you think that turret's gonna scare Frost Unbreakable as obese Penguin eats the ultimate. But look at these tanks. Look at the damage coming through. I'm pretty sure Volibear is healing for more than that tower is doing damage to him. And while they do find a pick on the other side, just force the issue too hard on the other side. Super minions pouring into the base. And Lord Dominic's finally finished from the side of Vinarvel. This game, I think it's all but over.
Yeah, we'll see, I mean, maybe one good thing on the back of that for the side of Dino Nuggies, if they can snipe down this 5th Drake here and claim a mountain for themselves. Doesn't look like it as Mythos pulls up. Like, yo, I am interested in this smoke as well. Looks like that'll go over. Soul point now. Maybe, as we see Space Jabberwocky ultimate coming through.
So close. Obese Penguin
Very
actually
close.
picking that up. And let's just take a second to appreciate the beauty of Mountain Soul on champs like this. Malphite sitting at 876 armor. Leona now sitting at 173 armor. Frost Unbreakable at 223 armor. These guys are going to be so hard to get through. Your only AP is this Echo, and he is a single target champion, barring a big hit from your ultimate. This is practically unplayable. The Lord Dominic's regards does come through for both for both Vinarvel and both Space Jabberwocky, but I mean, good luck on this dive. This Zed is gonna do nothing to Malphite, as they expend absolutely everything, trying their absolute best. He's down to half health. Congratulations, kids, you tried. As World War II Penguin will pick up the kill. Yokimoto trying to disengage his team. Look at the wall. Look at the chompers. Will actually grab that lantern coming in. Mocha Mexican trying to do something for his team. Will just have to flash away. No death rocket to be had. Means that he will get out to safety, but this is exactly what I'm talking about. Burst caught on the wrong side of the wall. I'm sorry. Welcome to Interactive League of Legends. If you don't have flash, you can't pay the Anivia toll, and you're just paying it with your life.
Yeah, nice walls from Marty. Really some great positional control as the
Yeah, and Yokimoto
double
just gonna
Umacorns just take
get
what they want.
burned down here. This Jinx just
Yeah.
absolutely doing whatever she wants, running behind these teams. World War II Penguin, not even here, actually expended the teleport to get the bot lane. Said, hey guys, keep pushing top. I'll make sure there's a wave to crash. Hey, you guys, a little bit more respect than I expected them to pay to the side of the Dino Nuggies at this stage in the game. Thought that they would just run through the base and get that third inhib, but it looks like the call will be to just secure this Baron. Let's just lock up this game. And, if we're playing things slow, that's fine. This game already at just under a 9k gold lead, and this Baron buff has to spell curtains.
Yeah, I mean, I respect the play. Definitely not taking any chances with extending it to, giving up, some trade kills back or whatever happens, right? In these types of games, they definitely make the right decision to just pull out, secure the Baron, get back to the Nexus, get back to base, spin the gold, and looks like they're gonna come for a game-winning push in the bot lane. Is likely the next macro decision to be made.
Yeah, and speaking of macro, this is one of my favorite macro things to watch. Get Baron and your jungler is farming. They're just so far ahead, but some desync timers will give the side of Dino Nuggies an opportunity to potentially catch somebody out before Frost Unbreakable is with the rest of his team. But Double Umacorns is doing a good job of not pushing up too far, but do realize here this is a 3v5. Dino Nuggies pull the trigger here that they could potentially fight this before World War II Penguin and Frost Unbreakable are able to join, especially with Obese Penguin. And I am already sitting there looking so good, but they don't realize that was their window to open it, and unfortunately just walk out. And you got to believe that this will be the final push, as they actually do split it up here going into these side lanes. Mid inhib will be open back up. You gotta imagine they will go to this bottom tower. Bottom tower falls. This mid inhib is next on the menu.
Yeah, I think Dino Nuggies in full turtle.
Oh, and here we go. The big engage. MF ulti does her best, but World War II Penguin saves his ultis for those. And unfortunately, we don't get to watch the last fight. Gotta make sure we're getting these subs the information. I'll make sure I'm bugging team captains to make sure that your team does not leave. We will start taxing bans if people keep leaving before games are over. We need to be able to finish these games, guys, and it's definitely unfortunate that we have to exit it out. So but exactly like we thought it would be coming into the early game. Uncle Tizzy calling it out in the chat. Just absolutely nothing that the side of Dino Nuggies can do once it got to that point in the game. Frost Unbreakable, though, making an absolute eruption back onto the Rift. And just on the side of Dino Nuggies, something I want to hit on. I think Vin Arvel had a great game, but to all of our points, I think this just came down to the draft. I think the problem was, Vin Arvel did have this lead. He actually performed on this pick and was just running over the mid lane. But as the game went on, just scale difference. There's nothing you can do when you're the Zed, when you're building Lord Dominic's as your third item, going Collector's second. Yeah, it looks good against the Jinx, but you're not getting any of these tanks down to 5%.
Yeah, I mean, the back and forth early, it's just really, again, that's back to Sin's point he always makes about ease of execution. It's just so difficult to pull that off. So many more things would have had to gone right for the Dino Nuggies. And I think that's something that's gonna eventually play itself out more and more. We see these compositions. Even last game, right? Uncle and Nephew's ultimately won, but they had a lot of things had to go right for them and go wrong for the opponent. So I don't know. I'm assuming we'll see more picks like this Malphite come through, maybe some more type of control mages as we see in I Am Artie with the Articuno. Whatever that champion's name is, right? I just think these type of styles where it's easier to execute, hopefully we'll start to see those things become more common.